Alright guys, in today's video we have got something pretty special. These are some of my favorite videos to make, as we're gonna be talking about some pretty secretive upcoming games. These are games that either do not have the publicity that all these AAA and AA games have, or the developers are still being very mysterious about them. I've already made a video on games just like these, and this one could act as a part 2. These videos are the ones that I put the most effort in, and most of the time is spent searching for the games. So make sure you guys drop a like onto this video, as it will truly help the channel and overall get these games the recognition they deserve. Let's get into it with the first game. First off, we have November Eve. Now this is a project that I am so glad to have found, and a perfect game to be showcased on this channel, which is also again being made by one single developer by the name of Luc Michael Mascioli. I'll put his Twitter and Discord in the description so you can follow this game. November Eve is an upcoming open world RPG where you can of course ride dragons and burn down entire cities, but you also have your own hero. Here's the game's official description. A world cast into darkness by the death of the gods and the burning of the trees of life. The land is now left with disease and famine, with monsters from the abyss surfacing out of dark caves. As a wandering soul, unfit for the afterlife, you inhabit the bodies of those who came before you. Use them to aid in your journey through the land and uncover arcane knowledge and power. You'll be able to explore the massive open world and fight your way through caves, a ton of dungeons, and a really vast and beautiful landscape. You will collect different items for yourself, have different characters, and get or find weapons of different rarities. You can also craft weapons and items and upgrade them to help you fight tougher enemies. The developer also included the feature to have a companion following you, which will help you fight in battle. Over the course of November Eve's development, this creator hopes to add a lot more dragons, the opportunity to have your own house in the world, and dragon air-to-air combat. Of course, one of the best things we can already see from this game is the awesome dragon gameplay, which already interests me a lot. But the fact you can also be on ground with your hero is even better. Let me know what you think of it. Next up, we have Synthetic Election. This is an upcoming boss fighting game that is still a bit early in development, but from its gameplay teasers that I shared here and there, oh man, could it be something amazing. The developers working on this have been quite for some time now, as they're pretty busy working on it extensively, but we still have some details to go over. First of all, I absolutely love the fights they got going on here, just the overall details of each boss and the movements. The developers plan Synthetic Election to be a third-person action-adventure roguelike with a major focus on extended sessions of play and exploration. The bosses and creatures you have seen so far are not procedurally generated. They are, however, procedurally animated, meaning the animations are reactive and based on decision making by the creature itself. So everything you do, the creature will make a decision on its own, and there's never going to be an exact same path they're taking. I mean, how can I not be amazed at the work this very small team of indie developers are doing? It's crazy to think that I haven't really seen this in major AAA games. It's like indie developers like to take more risk, or simply take all the time they need, while the AAA games simply follow a trend, and that's about it. Let me know what you think of Synthetic Election, and once again, check out the link in the description to follow this project. Next up, we have Pitbots. I was on the side on whether to include this game or not, but I did anyway, because even though this is not a super massive game like the others I included, this very little but very detailed game is about robots created by yourself fighting to the death, all in multiplayer or against bots. Anyone has seen the movie Real Steel? Well, this is pretty much that, just not as boxing. Pitbots is a physics-based combat game where you design a robot and fight in the arena. Crush, flip, pierce, burn, and cut your opponents till the last part. Create superior fighting machines and dominate the arena. Chassis shaping is first step to create your robot. During combat, chassis can be deformed and ripped apart, exposing vital internal parts. The component placement is the next step. Part types are, but not limited to, structural beams, motors, pistons, wheels, blunt, sharp, and other weapons, energy supplies, main board, and cosmetic parts. Once your chassis shape is final, use implemented basic painting tools to paint bot the exact way you want it to be. Your robot will be 100% unique from any other player, and everything you put will have a different impact on the combat. Participate in matches against other bots in various game modes, fight alone or with friends, host or join your friend's match. You can cripple enemy machines by destroying key components such as wheels, motors, energy supplies, and main board. Use your weapons to shred your opponent's part. You can completely destroy bots as all chassis sections and parts are destructible. Fighting arenas have hazards that may also affect outcome of combat. You can use them to your advantage and avoid the pit at all cost. The arena environments are diverse. Each arena might contain different hazards or none at all. Prepare your bot accordingly. I am really waiting for this one. Next up we have Last Man Sitting, another weird but epic upcoming game that is taking action to an absolute next level. Here's the game's description. A bunch of dudes sits in an office, all of them wearing black suits and white collared shirts. Everyone sits in the same lime green swivel chairs. For a video game, Last Man Sitting sounds really boring, but add shotguns, a ton of unique weapons and ragdoll physics, and you have a recipe for the best game there is. The basic premise is taking a bunch of people in a small room and watching them try to shoot each other while flying backwards every time they pull the trigger. The game promises a single player element where you just do anything you want in the office, but also on top of the building, like blowing up helicopters and such against a ton of AIs. But Last Man Sitting will also feature a team deathmatch mode against other online players and a battle royale and free-for-all feature. This literally might be the game that makes me come back to battle royale. I've long stopped playing battle royale games, but Last Man Sitting can definitely be an exception. The developer also has planned features he wants to release throughout the game's development, like different maps, a soccer mode, a level editor, complete destructible environment, and an office chair race mode. Let me know if you're excited for this one. I know I am. Next up we have Embark Studios' first game, coming from a ton of ex-DICE developers who worked on Battlefield 3, 4, and Battlefield 1. The studio is working on a photorealistic third-person action project that is said to be extremely ambitious and will be revealed sometime in the near future. While the footage Embark shows off in a recent blog update is very short, and that is the only gameplay we have, it do give us an idea for what we can expect from this unnamed game. Showing a devastating artillery strike and a gorgeous large-scale map, this game seems like to pretty much fit into these developers' shoes, as a lot of ex-DICE employees like Patrick Sololon are right at home with these features. According to Sololon, who is also the former chief creative officer at Electronic Arts, the concept for the game leans heavily into team-based gameplay and puts dynamism, physicality, and destruction front and center. He went on to talk about Embark's design philosophy with this new title. Our ambition with this game is to combine new and old genres with groundbreaking technical innovation into something unique and consequential. And now, coming to a point where all this works is starting to manifest itself as a real game, and it is really exciting for a PvP game. Let me know if you're excited for this. Finally, we have Militaneer, an upcoming open-world action stealth game where a giant policeman is watching your every move. The city itself will be freely explorable, with a train to ride and NPCs to talk to using the real voice communication system where you talk with your own mic to people. The townsfolk all seem to have something against you though, or hate you for the crimes you've been accused of. It seems that finding help in the town may not be very easy. The developers are working on making sure the voice system is as natural as possible. In order for the policeman and the environment to understand the player correctly, we are working on a system that will correctly process the player's response based on the context, a devlog from Tall Boys the developers says. It is important that it does not make stupid mistakes or create obstacles, as the answers will influence the mood and attitude of the Militaneer towards the player. Here's the game's description. You're arrested on this ordinary day in the provincial town where the giant policeman lives and works. You haven't broken the law, have you? Of course, someone must have been telling lies, but absolutely everyone thinks you're guilty. Don't stick around for too long. The game will offer multiple escape routes that are all open for experiment, along with a live-in sandbox with cars, trams, and trains. Militaneer also has an open non-linear story. Alright guys, that is all for today's video about upcoming secretive games. If you'd like to see more videos like these, make sure you drop a like and of course subscribe to stay tuned. Richard Westfall, Bruce Wayne 236, Thunder Beard, Kianzo Fagari, Rickno23, Diamond Hunter 45, Themistocles, Space Beer Gaming, and Rush Singbati for being a master member on the channel. You can become a Survivor member for as low as 99 cents only by clicking the join button below. This will support me and the channel as a whole to continue making videos on the games that truly deserve it.